Welcome everybody, we're back at the place where it all began, Daytona International Speedway for round number 21 of the 1UP Retro Cup season. We're back in beautiful Florida, I would say sunny Florida, but we're at night this time, the night race here at Daytona. And I'm alongside Ryan Caggiano for today's race, and let me just ask you this. Daytona is always prevalent to have the big one, whether it be at the beginning like we saw at Pensacola, or whether it be at the end like we've seen in many races here at Daytona before. What are you gonna do when you see the big one start in front of you? Do you stand on it to try and get around, or do you back it down and try and find a way around that way?
I mean, it depends on how close you are to the big one. If you're a quarter mile behind, I would say you probably want to back off, just let it slow down, just try to weave through it. If you're right up close to it, I'll just say push it as hard your car you can, try and get through it.
Yes,
It just depends on how far you are.
Absolutely, because the big one can strike at any time, at any point in the field. It could happen among the leaders even. And with qualifying taking place the other day, we can give you the starting lineup for this race with Cal Farrell taking his second pole of the season at a canterous pace. He was over 0.2 of a second faster than second place man Kevin Carter, and as the field scrolls down your screen, we can tell you 3 drivers are making their series debuts this weekend. We've got Casey Bender in the 22, we've got Santiago Alvarez in the 98, and we've got Cody Goforth in the number 60, all making their series debuts starting 8th, 24th, and 14th respectively. I ask you this, if you're making your first ever series start at a place like Daytona, what are your expectations? Do you want to try and shock the world, or you just want to have a solid underperforming day and just want to get out of this place in one piece?
I feel like you want a bit of both. I feel like at everyone's debut, you want to try and aim for at least a top 20 finish, bare minimum. But also, you want to try and survive Daytona. It's Daytona, it's always about survival here.
Absolutely, and with that, the field is set. We're ready to go racing, and we'll take you to the green flag shortly once the cars are up on the high banks here at Daytona. And the pace car is already on pit lane. It leaves us in the hands of Cal Farrell and Kevin Carter coming to the green flag, going into the restart zone. The flag is down, and we're underway. The second half of the season is underway at Daytona, and Cal Farrell gets a good jump, and he immediately moves up to the high lane to block Kevin Carter as they head into turn 1 for the first time.
Yeah, it's all about just trying to make sure you keep a straight line right now, keep it tight, keep it clean. You want to try and avoid being free ride right now, but it's Daytona, so it's going to happen sooner or later.
And look at that, Casey Bender's already made it 3 wide, and look at the lights shimmering off the cars as they head down the back straightaway. It's a beautiful sight to see the lights flickering on and off these cars going down the back straightaway as we head into turn 3. Cal Farrell still holds the lead with help from Peter Onjak and Nick Ortiz. However, Onjak gets shuffled up to the second groove as the 91 noses his way underneath the 70, but Cal Farrell has no challengers right now. He will lead lap number 1.
Yeah, it's nice smooth driving for Nick Ortiz. Is trying to make his way up the field. It'll be a slow, steady race. Hopefully, he can keep the groove going.
And Cal Farrell's going to try and do his best to block all 3 lanes now, because we're 3 wide with help from Richard Herman in the 53 and Jeff Bolton in the 38. These cars are already fanning out 3 wide, 10 rows deep, going down the back straightaway.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game. I mean, we did talk about the big one. It could happen early, but we don't really want to see that happen.
We don't. We want to see a good, clean race here today as Cal Farrell continues to lead this field. I'm surprised he's managed to hold the lead for this long, but Richard Herman and J.D. Martin in the 26 are going to look to try and change that. Going through the trioval, Cal Farrell will lead the lap, but he probably won't be able to lead lap number 3 because J.D. Martin is making a charge on the inside with help from Blair in the 69. They're making a move down to the inside, and Martin to the lead. Your first lead change of the day on lap number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was sooner or later it's going to happen. You want to try and keep that inside line, but in Daytona, it's very hard to keep that inside line.
Yes, as Martin moves up to block Herman on the outside, that's going to open the door for Blair and for Henry Thomas in the 1 down on the inside with help from Maria Carmona in the 54. She had a DNF in her first career start at Watkins Glen last time, so she wants to redeem herself from that accident-prone race, as Thomas leads the lap, but Carmona's on the inside with help from Jeffrey Finguy. She wants this lead badly.
Yeah, I mean, right now points are, already halfway through the season. Points are really a big matter here in this. Every point matters now.
And you do get 1 bonus point for leading a lap, so every lap you spend out front is a bonus point for you, and 1 less for your competitors. As they're 3 wide behind Carmona, she leads them into turns 3 and 4, with the 30 right behind her, and help from Justin Hutchinson in the 28 as well. And it starts to be spreading out a little bit single file with Carmona and the 30, but not quite, as Carmona leads lap number 4, as there continue to be 3 wide, about 15 rows deep.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing a free ride. I love seeing a good tight race, but it's always scary when you're on Daytona.
It is. There's always the ever-present risk involved, and being in that middle groove is the worst place to be in, because you've got nowhere to escape to. If you're on the bottom, you've got space to try and make your way to the apron of the track to avoid an accident. If you're in the middle or if you're up top, you've got nowhere to hide.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous thing, but so far, looks like the 54 is still going to be holding on to this lead lap. As I say that.
as you say that, Jack Halleck makes a move with help from Ryan Soper in the 84. Jack Halleck's number 4, Exide Ford, is looking to take the lead of this thing, and he will with help from Soper and Alexa Lutchen in the 50. Alexa Lutchen started back in 35th, and in just 6 laps, she's made her way up into the top 5. It just proves this is the great equalizer here at Daytona. Anybody can win this race.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Do you try to rate your time and ride and try to catch up? Would you try and go hard very quickly on and try and get a big lead?
You don't want too big a lead here, though, as if you get too big a lead all by yourself, the pack will close in and catch you in a hurry, and they will not hesitate to blast right past you. So you don't want too big of a lead here, but as we say that, we've got a 3-car breakaway up front with Porkins ducking to the inside of Soper to try and take 2nd place.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the number 16 can try and make a move, but you never know. 44's right there.
The 4 of Jack Halleck is continuing to maintain his lead down the back straightaway. He said he hasn't been too impressed with his performances this season. He wants to see a change, and with an 8th place finish at Watkins Glen last week, and he now is leading it at Daytona. I'd say his luck's beginning to turn around, and in a big way, he should be happy with what he's doing out here in front here at Daytona.
Yeah, he's going to be really happy and pleased with himself. He's just got to keep the momentum going. He's got to make sure he doesn't slip up. He's got to make sure he keeps hold of that number 1.
And he's got his friend Jack Porkins pushing him, and Jordan Presto, another Ford, is coming up in the 66. Remember, he won at Pensacola the last time we were on a super speedway, so don't count out that 66. He's a very good plate racer, and he's going to make a move on the inside of Jack Porkins to try and break up the duo out front, and it looks like he'll do so.
Yeah, it's all about now trying to... If you're number 4, you're trying to block both the 16 and the 66 together, and it's always a bit hard to try to do so, so it's all about just trying to keep a good strategy going.
And Jack Halleck will not be able to block Jordan Presto anymore. He will lead that lap as our average speed climbs above 200 miles per hour. That's to be expected here at Daytona. Barring a yellow flag, expect the average speed of this race to be well above 200 miles per hour. As Sam Donotto powers to the point with help from Wyatt Dooling and pole sitter Cal Farrell.
Yeah, I mean, it's some nice clean racing so far. We're nearly 10 laps in, so it's been very good, very nice driving, but again, it's really early still.
It is early, but anything can still happen. We've still got 38 laps to go in this race, and Cal Farrell's powered his way back to the lead, but don't look now, Miles Mashburn in the 72 is looking to take the lead away. Farrell will lead the lap, but with help from Josh Drake in the 86, I wouldn't count out Miles Mashburn trying to take the lead right here, right now.
Yeah, I mean, the 72 hasn't always had the great showing, but hopefully now their luck can change, especially now.
He started last in this race. He blew an engine during qualifying, so hopefully he can have a good showing here today as Josh Drake moves to the point. In the 86 with Zachary Fitzwater and Duke Anzac heading the inside lane with Caden Atkins squeezes Duke Anzac up high to try and fill that bottom groove, and now Fitzwater to the point are going around Josh Drake. Remember, a lead change is only official if you are the leader going to the start-finish line, so Drake will not be credited with leading that lap. Fitzwater will.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate for the 86. Hopefully, there'll be later laps where he can try and catch up, but right now it's all about the 59.
And as you say that, the 59 of Fitzwater loses the lead to Caden Atkins with help from Jake McMillan, your two-time winner this season at Charlotte and at Watkins Glen, as he put on such a dominating performance at Watkins Glen, leading every single lap and achieving the 1UP Retro Cup Series' first ever Grand Slam. Starting on pole, leading every lap, winning the race, and setting the fastest lap for good measure. This driver of the 6 car is very fast, and he's taken the lead here at Daytona.
Yeah, that number 6, that's always, he's a danger. You just got to make sure you keep your eye on him and always make sure you keep up with him.
And don't look now, but that 24 of Ace is looking to the point. And look at the inside, Santiago Alvarez in his first series start with help from Casey Bender in his first series start. These two debut drivers are making a push to the front, and Alvarez is to the lead.
I mean, yeah, you want to prove yourself. You want to show that you are worthy to be with the best. And right now, the 98 and the 22 are showing that.
The 75 pushing the 98 of Alvarez coming off turn 4. It looks like Bender won't be able to challenge for the lead, but can Alvarez lead a lap in his first ever series start? Wyatt Dewing managed to do it at Pensacola. Can Alvarez do it? Yes, he can. Alvarez to the point on lap 13.
Yeah, I mean, some good driving from the rookie there. Hopefully they can keep it clean, and hopefully he can lead a couple more laps, get his confidence up a bit.
We are a quarter of the way through this race here at Daytona, and they're still 3 wide, 15 rows deep as the lights flicker off the cars down the back straightaway. You'll see that a lot in this race as the 75 and the 37 of Brandon Beal make moves under Alvarez, and they'll split them 3 wide going for the lead in turn 3.
Yeah, it's always a good showing when you see that free ride trying to go for the lead. It's a bit dangerous, but it's always a good showing.
And Brandon Beal takes the lead in the 37. He will lead that lap after a good showing in Springfield a few weeks ago. He wants to prove his mettle. He's missed a few races, so he's hoping to impress his sponsors and impress some fans here today. As Seth Taylor, the Ricky Raceway winner, he's fairly talented on the super speedways as well. He takes the point now with help from Ben McDonnell and Kevin Carter right behind him.
Yeah, the 32 trying to hold on against the 70s. Hopefully they can try and do that.
But it doesn't look like he'll be able to hold on to it as Jeff Bolton in the 38. He missed the race at Watkins Glen, and he's finally making it to the front with help from Cody Gothorpe in the 60. He's also making his first series start, and that Books A Million Chevrolet is pushing Jeff Bolton to the lead.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, you want to get points now. We're halfway through the season. Only a few cars can make it to the finale. Every point matters.
Yes, and with Cody Goforth now taking the lead, he's going to try and secure a point for leading a lap in his series debut. But I wouldn't count on it because look at Blair in the 69 and Jeffrey Finguy in the 92. They're going to split Goforth 3 wide going into turn 3. And it looks like Finguy's going to assume the point. Ever since winning at Martinsville, Finguy's not had a good string of luck. Remember, he flipped wildly in that race at Pensacola and finished dead last. So hopefully he can finish a little higher up in the field this time as he leads lap 15.
Yeah, I mean, that crash was a very, very scary crash. Luckily, though, he recuperated and shook him up a bit, but hopefully he changes his luck right now and keeps it going nice and strong.
And with help from the 30, J.D. Martin in the 26 powers by to take the lead of this thing. But right now, he's got a pusher in the 30, but he's got Onjak behind him as well in the 70, and that could play a big factor. As Onjak goes to try and break up the duo up front, and he does with help from the 500 winner, Bobo Jones. Jones knows how to win at Daytona. He did it earlier in the season. So if there's a favorite going into this race, it would be the driver of the 13 DHL Chevrolet.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many cars that you can't even write them out of winning the race. You have Bobo Jones, winner of Daytona. You have so many different cars that can win this race that it's always going to be interesting.
Right now, J.D. Martin, who lost the points lead a few races ago, he's trying to get it back, and with Stephen Hunter fading back through the field, this could be his chance to take the lead. And with so many cars under a blanket, every second counts. So he could very well take the points lead back for keeps if he can manage to win today. But don't look now. Alexa Lutchen, his closest points rival, is right behind him in that silver and green Rolex machine.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when you see the top competitors trying to push each other, trying to show that they're the top dog, and right now we're seeing it.
And Martin tries to block Jordan Presto. It won't work as the 66 powers his way to the front with help from Lane Sanders in the 81, Jack Porkins, and Wyatt Dooling. And now Presto to the point. Remember, Presto won at Pensacola. He is our most recent Super Speedway winner. So if anyone knows how to handle the high banks, it is him. But he's going to lose the lead here to Lane Sanders going through 3 and 4. Sanders won at Rockingham, but hasn't done much else since. Hopefully he can turn things around with a good showing here today.
Yeah, I mean, both the 66 and the 81 are both trying to show that they still have what it takes to climb the points ladder and show up the leaders a little bit.
And Porkins moves back to the point after shoving Presto and Sanders wide, with help from Miles Mashburn and Sam Donotto in the 00 behind him. The cars look similar, but they're very different. They're very different with drivers behind the wheel of each machine. As Miles Mashburn moves up to second, but Sam Donotto is going to try and cut him off. No, Mashburn holds on to second, with Porkins leading the yellow train up front.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a joke in the pit crews about, the twins driving next to each other, and we're seeing it right now, basically.
We are. You can tell them apart. The blue numbers on the 72 and the white numbers on the 00. You are able to tell them apart if you look hard. But right now it's Sam Donotto and the Six Flags Chevy taking the point with help from Stephen Gale on the 52. Gale is a 2-time winner this season, and he's looking to become the first man ever to achieve 3 victories. Can he do it today as we go live from our chopper can?
I mean, it will be a big booster to his points. He'll probably really put himself up there with the leaders if he can try and get the victory here today.
Gale enters this race in a playoff position right now, but he's not as close to the front as he'd like. Hopefully, with a good showing here at Daytona, he can put a rubber stamp on his playoff position, as he started near the back of the field in many of the recent races. We've got a lead change once again. The 91 with help from Cal Farrell in the 96 and Josh Drake in the 86 as they power off the corner. Ooh, is that a contact with the wall from Lane Sanders in the 81?
I mean, I did see a little bit of a spark fly. Hopefully, it's not too much damage. Hopefully, they can keep it clean a little bit more longer, because it's been so far a thrilling race so far.
Yes, with Cal Farrell now reassuming the point for the 3rd time today. Cal Farrell's got a fast dodge under him, and given the right circumstances, he could land in victory lane. Remember, he was so close at Kansas, leading coming to the white flag from 42nd on the grid before his engine let go. Not engine, his fuel tank ran dry on the final lap. So he wants a win badly, but he's going to lose the lead at least temporarily to Jack Halleck in the 4.
Yeah, I mean, the 96... it was really upsetting with the fuel tank. Hopefully, his luck can change today, but he got so many laps to go that you can't really count out any of these cars.
However, we are fast approaching halfway in this race, and with all 42 cars still in the lead draft, it's anybody's guess as to who's going to be out front at the end of this thing. But Jack Halleck has actually built quite a bit of a lead ahead of the 3-wide pack behind him. That's not always a good thing. He could fall victim to what we like to call the sucker hole. Although that might not happen as these cars are so tightly packed behind him. But what happens in the sucker hole is you'll have a lane, 2 lanes of cars, deep, several rows deep, and then you'll have a row with no one in it, and you'll be sucked into that empty space and just drop to the tail of the field with nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, so far, let's hope that right now number 4 doesn't want that to happen, but looks like the rest of the pack's caught up with him already.
None more so than the points leader, Stephen Hunter, in the 51. Winless this season, despite the points lead he's got. This is actually his first race at Daytona. He missed the 500, but he's managed to string together a very consistent season to grab the points lead despite missing a race. And now he's looking to try and get his first career win in the race that he missed back in the spring.
Yeah, I mean, consistency does play a huge role in this. And right now, the 51 wants to submit that he is the champ. He is the numero uno. And right now, he's proving it right now.
Yes, and with Beal and Alvarez trying to make moves on him, it's not going to work, though, as Fords currently occupy 3 of the top 5 spots with Halleck, Hunter, and Alvarez, first, second, and fourth, respectively. But here comes Ace in the 24. Remember, he was on pace to win at Springfield before a pit miscue cost him big. He's still yet to score a top 10 in the series. He's made every single race so far, yet to score a top 10 finish. Could today be today?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we had so many great drivers in this series. The 24 is one of them. He's just been super unlucky. Hopefully, today is his day for a good drive.
While Jack Halleck continues to lead, Jack Halleck has led the halfway point of this race. Although keep in mind, the leader at halfway back in the 500 did not go on the victory lane in that particular race. So don't count your eggs before they hatch, Jack Halleck, because you've got 41 other cars right behind you that all want a shot at victory.
Yeah, it's still very early on, and yes, the 44 might be getting a couple extra points here and there for most of that lap. It's still too early to say that you're going to be getting it.
And with the field coming off turn 2 once again, you can see Ace move into second place with help from the 75 and the 38 of Jeff Bolton and Casey Bender in the 22. 3 Fords behind the Chevrolet of Ace. The Blue Oval Brigade is putting on quite a performance here at Daytona. But Ace is moving to take the lead of this thing. In the 24, will Halleck hang on to lead this lap?
Yeah, I mean, like we said before, the 24 has had a bad run of luck, and hopefully today's the day that his luck finally changes.
At the stripe, it looks like Halleck managed to hold him off by the slimmest of margins, and now neither of them are leading this race. Now it's the 75's turn to take the point. He's had a strong season all year long, but just hasn't managed to grab that win. Could this be the day for him in that bright blue Ford to take it to the winner's circle?
I mean, you never know. That 75 has very good consistency. However, consistency has not led him to a victory. Hopefully today's his day.
And he's got drafting help from fellow Ford Jeff Bolton and the Toyota of Peter Onjak as well, breaking out into a 3-car single-file breakaway up front. Now 4 cars with the addition of Ricky Freeman Jr. in the 56. And these cars are still 3 wide, but keep in mind, we're going to see a round of green flag pit stops, barring a yellow flag. We're going to see pit stops in about 3 to 5 laps, as these cars cannot make it the entire 48-lap distance on fuel. They need to pit at about lap 31, maybe 32. So it'll be interesting to see how the pack splits up when that time comes.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Would you want to pit early to try and get through empty pit lanes, try and get through as fast as possible? Or do you wait a bit, try to get some extra time back into your laps and use as much fuel as you got left in your tank? It's a very unique strategy. Let's see what plays out.
The key to pitting at Daytona is you need to have friends to come with you, because if you come down pit road all by yourself, you're going to lose a ton of time to the leaders. You need to have a lot of cars come with you in order to help your position and to form a draft when you exit the pits, because that's a key factor in whether or not you're going to win this race, is having drafting partners behind you, as Kevin Carter moves to point, but Bobo Jones is looking to take it away going in the 3.
Yeah, I mean, like we said before, Bobo Jones, he knows how to win these races. He's done one before. He wants to do it again.
And coming off of 4 with help from Jeffrey Finguy and Cody Goforth, Bobo Jones in the 13 will lead this lap. It's his second race led here at Daytona. Remember, he won the Daytona 500 earlier in the year. but he's not going to likely keep that lead for very long as Cody Goforth in the 60 moves to take it back with help from Justin Hutchinson in the 28 and Chris Maley, the winner at Monza on the high banks there in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, Monza was just fantastic tracks, but right now it's all about Daytona, and Daytona is a whole different ball game altogether.
Absolutely. And with Justin Hutchinson, another two-time winner this season, moving to take the lead. His wins have come on the fast intermediate tracks. But remember, Hutchinson finished second in the Daytona 500 to Bobo Jones. And he was agonizingly close to a win there. So do not count out this 28 as he makes a bid for victory. As we're 3 wide for position entering lap 31. Pit stops should be coming soon. The question is, who will be the first to dive down pit lane?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing we got to think about as well is, like, will the cars try to keep it clean there, or will there be some accidental bumps in there? And those accidental bumps could play a big part during the pits.
Absolutely. You need to let your rivals know when you're pitting, unless you want to be run over coming into the pit lane. We've seen accidents like that happen before here, and that's discounting accidents that happen on the pit lane itself. As it looks like we've got one taker on pit road. Caden Atkins in the 2 is coming down pit road, but like I said earlier, he's all by himself, and that is not the position you want to be in coming down pit road. He's going to have a hard time making his way back.
Yeah, hopefully he can try to catch up to the others, but it's going to be a long, hard race now for him. Hopefully he can catch up, though.
And with the 30 now out front, with help from two Toyotas behind him, Seth Taylor in the 32 and the 18 of King. But Carmona's Chevrolet is right there, and she wants a bite of this action. As 3 Toyotas head the field at lap number 32, we are almost 3/4 of the way through this race.
Yeah, I mean, right now the number 30 is trying to hold on, trying to keep the lead. But it's still early showing, and we see 3 cars going into the pit lane.
That was Ryan Soper in the 84, Nick Ortiz, and Richard Herman in the 53. All 3 of them hit pit road. As you see the packs start to separate, those cars pitting really split up this group into 2 different packs. One up front and one behind trying to catch up. This race will be split up quite a bit here. So say goodbye to the 3 wide, 15 rows deep, because now the pack's going to be split up even more with cars coming on and off of pit road.
Yeah, and as we say that, I think the 30 is going to lose this lead now to number 54 now.
As you see, Finn Guy on the flat has his tank run dry. Finn Guy's definitely on his way to pit road. As you see, Goforth headed to pit road, Bolton and Hunter are also coming to the pits, but this pack of cars is staying out there. Carmona leads the lap, but with Alexa Lutchen and J.D. Martin right there, it could be a difficult time for these cars to try and get to pit road, especially those on the outside.
Yeah, and also we got to think about this. They're going to be drawing on fumes any moment now, so it's all about just trying to keep momentum going.
And as you see these cars coming out of the pit lane, Herman in the 53 has lost a lap. Nick Ortiz in the 91 has just barely hung on to the lead lap. And now Bobo Jones pushing J.D. Martin to the lead. How many of these cars will come to pit road this time by? We'll need to see it. As you see, Jones, Bender, Hutchinson, a lot of cars coming to pit road, but not J.D. Martin. He stays out to lead a lap to get that bonus point that's so critical to his campaign to try and chase down Stephen Hunter for the points lead as he continues to hold the lead here at Daytona.
Yeah, he's now got a little bit of a gap now, but he hasn't pitted yet, so that's going to play a huge factor in there.
And also note, he is all by himself as well. And with the fields much, much more spread out now, these leaders are going to have a hard time catching each other. Remember, we saw this at the end of the 500 as well, with Hutchinson and Jones being the only cars in their group, and thus being the only cars to decide victory. However, that race was 8 laps shorter than this one. As you see, Martin head to pit road, but Bolton looks like he's going to stay out. He's already pitted, of course, but the 30 has not, so he will assume the lead as Martin and the others pit. As you see, a huge gaggle of cars coming out of the pit lane. This could get really hairy here.
Yeah, it would be, but the 30, it's a bit concerning for the 30. A bit crazy talk for him. Hopefully he can keep it smooth, though, and keep it clean as the rest of the cars come out of the pit road.
And there could be a strategy to staying out this long. You could take less fuel coming down pit road if you stretch it a little bit further. And Finn Guy just trying to stay off of the 30, but with help from Stephen Gale, he should be able to get by, and I think the 30's coming to pit road this time by. Yes, he will, and Kevin Carter is coming with him in the 71. So the lead will cycle back out, and I'm not sure where the lead will cycle to, because those should be the final cars coming to pit road, and it's going to take a while for us to find the leaders once again, but don't worry, we will get you there as soon as these cars finish up their pit stops, and it looks like the 30's taking only fuel on his pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, he only needs just a little bit less fuel now. Hopefully, that gives a bit more speed, and maybe he might give the win. You never know.
You never know, indeed. As the pace car is on pit road, the caution flag is out. There's a crash in turn number 3, and 3 cars are involved. Richard Herman in the 70 of Peter Onjak, Miles Mashburn in the 72. He's involved. What a mess here, and right as green flag pit stops were coming to an end. So you see Peter Onjak was coming out of the pit lane, and he just washes up, and he just gets in Richard Herman's path. Nowhere for Miles Mashburn to go either. I'd have to put the blame on Onjak for that one. He was just he needed to know that there were other cars in that groove, and I have to blame the 70 for that. He just didn't see those cars ahead of him.
He's only took now 2 other drivers, but unfortunately the 72's race is fully done now.
Yeah, the 72 should be able to be repaired, but it's going to take a little while, and it's definitely going to end his chances of winning. But this is going to bunch the field back up in a big way, now that the caution flag is out. And if only that caution had come out a few laps earlier and allowed everyone to hit pit road for under caution flag conditions, that would have helped a lot. But alas, the green flag pit stops have cycled through, and the caution flag is out with J.D. Martin as your race leader, with Casey Bender in second place. Good run from the 22 car here, as we're under 10 laps to go now in this race.
Yeah, this is where the field's now packed up together. It's going to be now a race to the finish. How fast and how hard can you push your car now? Some cars only pitted fuel, some cars did tires. It's going to be who did that best strategy now.
Yes, and now with the field bunched up, 40 cars are still on the lead lap of this thing. Only Jeffrey Finguy and Miles Mashburn have lost laps to the lead. Finguy 1 down, Mashburn 2 down. So, and since this is within 10 laps to go, we will have a single file restart. So, all of the lap cars will line up in the positions they're in comparison to the leaders, instead of in their own lane on the inside. And now we'll have a proper shootout to settle this thing, as we'll likely have about 5 laps to go in this race when we go back green.
Yeah, I mean, this is where now you show how good you are as a driver. How fast can you push a car? How hard can you turn into the inside? This is where you show how good you can drive.
And the restart will be coming shortly, and we'll, of course, bring you to the restart once the lights are out on the pace car. But in the meantime, we can give you an update on the top 10 cars. We've got J.D. Martin leading, Casey Bender second, Alexa Letchen third, Henry Thomas is fourth after a good run in the 1 car. Justin Hutchinson and Bobo Jones, key principals in the Daytona 500 finish, are running 5th and 6th, with Jack Halleck, who's led the most laps today, running in 7th, Carmona 8th, Goforth in 9th, and Zachary Fitzwater rounds out your top 10 after 40 laps have been completed. This is where the race would have been over in the 500, and J.D. Martin would have been your winner. But we still got 8 laps to go in this thing, and anything can still happen in those remaining 8 laps.
Yeah, exactly. It's still anyone's race still. Even though they only got a couple laps left, it's all about, like I said before, how fast can you push the car? How hard do you want to turn in?
It's all about positioning, too. You want to be up front, but you also want to be within striking distance, because what if the leader makes a mistake? What if you've got a faster car than him and you've got to run on the inside? You've got to take it. Because obviously, with so few laps to go, you don't know if an opportunity like this is going to come again.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make sure every turn you make, every shot, you just make sure you keep up with them and hold on to them.
got to hold on for dear life, and you got to feel for Casey Bender. This is his first series start, and he's running in second behind J.D. Martin, a proven winner of the series already, and Alexa Lutchen right behind him. These two have been the class of the season so far with consistent runs, and Martin's win at Canadian Tire. So you got to feel for Casey Bender. He's in the position of his lifetime right here.
Oh, yeah, he's over the moon right now, I'd say. He, being up there with the top dogs, and getting some well-needed points to make sure that he can race automatically next time, hopefully, if he keeps consistency going.
But they don't give out points at lap 41. They give the points out at lap 48. And with J.D. Martin continuing to lead the field and the lights still on the pace car, we're not sure how many laps are going to be left in this thing when we go back green. But what we do know is it's going to be a thrilling fight to the finish with the 40 remaining cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we get some good racing coming up soon. Hopefully this pace car doesn't last too much longer. We get a nice, good, solid couple laps in, not like 2 or 3 laps left before the end of the race.
Lights are still on the safety car, which means we are still yet to go back green. But with the field now rolling down the back straightaway, we can update you further down the rest of the field. After Fitzwater, it's Cade Natkins running in 11th with Lane Sanders in 12th. And the camera's falling off pace. But looking at the top 10, we've got some good runs building through the field. We've got guys like Martin, Lutchen, Jones, and Hutchinson that are in the top 10 in points that are having strong runs here today. We've got guys like Bender and Goforth in their series debuts in the top 10. And then we've got guys like Halleck who are looking to turn their season around. We've got a lot of stories to keep on our eye on.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of interesting stories right now. It's just so much of a unique race Daytona, and that's why everybody loves it. It's
a crown jewel, and a lot of drivers say their racing career is not complete until they have a win at Daytona, whether it be on the oval, on the road course, or anything in between. You want a win at Daytona, and the lights are finally out on the safety car, so we are going green next time by, with J.D. Martin in the lead, about 6 laps away from his maiden win at Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a great race for him, and it'll be some good points needed for him as well, trying to confirm himself as a runner for, a playoff position.
And he's already solidly up in there. He's second in points going into this race. But with Stephen Hunter so far back, he could actually take the points lead in this race, unless Alexa Lutchen gets past him, or if he falls back through the field quickly enough. But right now he's got to focus on keeping that 22 car with him, as well as the 50. Those 3 Fords up front have got to work together. Maybe get Justin Hutchinson and Jack Halleck in there as well. There's a lot of Fords up in the top 10. Half the top 10 is made up of Ford Fusions, and they've all got to work together if they want to have a shot at winning this thing.
Yeah, but here's the key thing, though. Yes, Fords probably run together, but there's only going to be one winner.
And you want it to be you. So there's got to be a point in time in which you've got to abandon your alliances and go for the win yourself. But when is that point going to come? You're going to make your move early and hope that the cars behind you don't get a run on you back? Or do you wait until the final corner and catch them off guard?
Yeah, it's all about now just trying to be friendly right now, but later on, show a bit of strength in your tires, show a bit of strength in your car.
And the pace car is off on the pit road. We're getting ready for the restart, going into the restart zone. J.D. Martin leads the field to green. We're back underway at Daytona, and we've got 6 laps of racing to go. Casey Bender makes a move to the high side, but he falls back in line. But now he's going to make a move to the inside to try and get around J.D. Martin, and it looks like he'll be able to make it stick going into one.
Yeah, I mean, that 22 has shown really good resilience so far today on his debut as well. Hopefully he can keep it up.
With Lutchen and Martin working together on the high side, Bender comes up to block him, and now they've got 4 Fords on the high side working together. But the question is, will Bender be able to hold on and score an upset victory here at Daytona, or will a proven winner like Thomas, Jones, or Hutchinson on the inside lane be able to take it to him? It looks like Thomas is going to take the lead of this thing, coming off of 4, coming to 5 laps to go. And don't look now, but we've got a whole cast of characters in this race that have a shot at winning it now.
Yeah, I mean, You've got second place winner. There's so many good cars out there. You've got 13, the Daytona winner. You have second place in first. It is so close now.
And coming off of turn 2, the pack is starting to spread out a little bit. We're spreading out into 2 distinct packs. But look at these leaders are going to settle this race between them. As Hutchinson leads Goforth and Jones. Could Goforth win in his first series start? Pull off the massive upset. As Caden Atkins dives underneath the 60 to try and help Justin Hutchinson the victory lane. But that opens the door for Lane Sanders on the inside. There's so many stories to talk about. It would be an injustice to keep talking like this because we won't be able to get to them all.
Exactly. There's so many unique people, unique characters that you can't really give justice to just any single car. You have to talk about the whole field. We just don't have the time for it.
Because we've only got 4 laps to go. And with Seth Taylor making the move 3 wide, with Lane Sanders and Blair in the 69. Remember, she was close to scoring the win at Pensacola before Jordan Presto got past her on the final lap. She's a good super speedway racer. Can she pull off the win in that 69 Chevrolet?
I mean, you never know. Like we said before, anything goes now. It's all about hard driving and keeping it clean. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully she can get the win.
3 laps to go, and Caden Atkins holds the lead. But it's a 3 wide pack behind them. And anybody in this pack has a chance to win this race, and don't count out the chance of another big one getting in there as well, with Kevin Carter nosing it ahead of the 3 wide pack. And I can't even say who's gonna win this race because there's at least 20 cars that have a shot at it.
Yeah, I mean, even we can take a look at Blair, who's now dropping down 4th. It doesn't matter. It's still in the race either way. If they can get down to the bottom, they can still win this.
Jack Porkins noses ahead now as we come to 2 laps to go. Can Jack Porkins take the win, or will Brandon Beal or Stephen Gale sneak by on the inside? Remember, Gale's got 2 wins this season already, but this would be his first with the Halmar colors on his Dodge. Can he pull it out of the water here with just 2 laps of racing to go? They're 3 wide for the lead going into 1.
I mean, it's anyone's game. We see the number 71 in the lead right now. Hopefully he can hold on. You never know.
52 a Gale up in the lead right now, but with the 75 and the 51 right behind him, they're going to go 3 wide. Stephen Hunter's going to have the edge going into 3. He was 27 on the restart, and now he's coming to the lead, coming to the white flag. This is going to be the final lap of the race right here, and Stephen Hunter's just got to hang on for 1 more lap to try and take the win here at Daytona.
Yeah, but as we've seen so far, holding on to 1 lap is easier said than done.
Absolutely. We've got a smoker in the middle of the pack. We've got an engine blown, and that's Jack Porkins in the 16, who's lost the engine on the Best Buy Ford. He's out of the action. But coming through turns 1 and 2, Ryan Soper and King in the 18 are working on Stephen Hunter in the 51, going down the back straightaway for the final time. Lights shimmering, cameras flashing. We're going up live through our chopper cam. Can Stephen Hunter hold him off?
Oh, it looks like he can. He's going to be wheeling away, enjoying that victory, holding on to first place, and showing that he is the top dog.
His season was complete except for a win, but now Stephen Hunter, the points leader, takes it at Daytona for his first career win in the series. His first win at his first race at Daytona ends in a victory as well. What a showing from the points leader, who will extend his lead coming out of Daytona once again. A great race by the 51.
Yeah, I mean, a great race by him. You gotta feel sorry, though, for the pack that fell behind because of that engine blow, though. I feel so sorry for them.
Absolutely. Ryan Soper gets a career best day in 2nd place. King in the 18 will come across 3rd. Santiago Alvarez in his first series start comes home 4th. Good run for the 98. And Caden Atkins drifted back to 5th at the end. Miles Mashburn gets the fastest lap of the race. He'll get a bonus point for that. Even though he finishes last today, he'll still be happy with that last place fit with that fastest lap point. Aria Carmona gets her first top 10 in 6th, ahead of Ben McDonald, JD Martin, 75 in 9th, and Chris Maley rounds out your top 10. This has been an exciting race, and we're going to see plenty more of these as the season unfolds. We still got 19 races to go. Anything can still happen as the season continues on.
Yeah, exactly. We just passed the halfway point. You may think it's nearly over, but it's now all about just getting those points for the playoffs, and this is where the real turn of the series comes in.
And next week we head to your home track at Calder Park in Australia. We'll be with you for that race, and I'm sure that's going to be a fun one as well as we head overseas for the second time this season and head to that little bull ring, that mile oval down in Australia. That's going to be a lot of fun, won't it?
Oh, it's always a great little fun to play down on that little track. It's always short, it's always quick, but it's always a nice little fun time.
And we'll look forward to heading to Calder Park next time out, but we'll still remember the memories we've had at Daytona for the rest of the season yet, especially Stephen Hunter, who, along with congratulations from myself and from Ryan Caggiano as well, Stephen Hunter will definitely be celebrating as he has taken the checkered flag at the world's center of racing.